So hello guys, Nintendo Caprice here, how's everybody doing? Actually breaking NCS here, I guess. Same difference. So, here I'm going to try to record my E3 recap again, because I actually tried to record it with a different camera, with this camera yesterday. The reason I bought this camera, I actually bought this one, excuse me, is because my good camera, which I'm recording with now, doesn't have a slot to put an SD card in, and I just wanted to have a camera that I could record for 4 hours worth of footage and not have to worry about it. So I just bought this one. Little did I know the quality is kind of really poopy on it. So a lot of the video game footage that I actually did get was on this camera. And I brought the good camera with me, but little did I know the batteries were dead because I left it in my car ever since I went to see Nick with Chugga that time. And it's been sitting in my car ever since then in 110 degrees. So yeah, stop picking your nose, boy. Anyway, so that kind of gets us up to date on what's been happening here, but yeah, all those videos are on my computer now, so I just have to record this and we'll be done. But so if you're actually like if you're like a serious E3 media person and you're looking for something really exclusive here that you haven't seen anywhere else, chances are you're not going to get much here because pretty much everything that was there has been shown somewhere now on some other channel, probably in better quality, so I'm not exactly the person to go to for serious information about this. Really the best I can do is just give my own opinion about some of the things I saw and what it, you know, all that. I don't even know where to start, really. I mean, I'll start with the Nintendo stuff because that's pretty much my main reason for going. Got to play the Nintendo Land stuff like Zelda, Donkey Kong, and Luigi's Ghost. That was the only 3 games from it I actually played. The Zelda was like a multiplayer thing where one player would hold like the Wii U controller, the Wii U. It looks just like Buddy Holly controller. And you would be like an archer moving it around to try to shoot enemies and stuff. The other 2 players would hold Wiimotes and they'd be like playing like Skyward Sword. And the 3 of you would try to get to the end. So it was pretty cool. But unfortunately I lost for my team when we played because I took too many hits. I got too overzealous. So that kind of stooped. But oh well. It was pretty fun though. And they had like the Dark World music playing. But I think it was playing like on the speakers above, not actually in the game. Because it was like one continuous flow of the music. It wasn't like in the game, so I don't know if that's how the music sounds in the game, but it actually sounded kind of goofy because like the real Dark World music is all sinister and like, but in this one it was like ding ding boom boom boom. It sounded all like cheery and chimey and like something you would play in a nursery, like on a xylophone or something. I don't know. So it's kind of goofy. I don't know. The Donkey Kong game was interesting. Like that was one of those where you had to like hold it like this and bring your little tricycle thing or something through a obstacle. It was basically like a bicycle, but a triangle or something, I don't know. And you had to get it to the end of the obstacle course. And that was interesting, but it was actually surprisingly difficult. And the guy who played before me, he couldn't figure out how to get past like the 2nd checkpoint. And then I got up there and I'm like, suddenly I just got lucky. Well, the thing is I watched what the other guy was doing and I kind of learned from his mistakes. And when I got up there, I got past the 2nd checkpoint like right away, and all of a sudden these people behind me are like, oh my god, this guy's gonna master it. And I'm like, shit. So on my way to the 3rd checkpoint, they started doing these things where you press L and R to move elevators up and down to move your thing around, and then eventually I did something really stupid and I just died like 3 times in a row there, so that was poopy. And then Luigi's Ghost game, that was one where it was sort of like Pac-Man. You would control, like the person with a Wii U remote would control the ghost, and the other 4 players would be controlling guys on the screen trying to find the ghost, but they couldn't see where the ghost was. Only the ghost could see where he was. It was pretty cool. Every time that I played, every time I watched somebody else play, they caught the ghost, though. Because once one person finds it, all the other guys have to do is make a perimeter so that he can't get away. And they just kind of narrow it down and boom. So it kind of felt like maybe the players were overpowered, even though I've heard other people say that the ghost was overpowered. I don't know. I guess it's a matter of opinion. I don't know. Probably the coolest thing I saw for the Wii U, actually, was the Project P100. Which was weird. I don't know if the P stands for Pikmin or what, but because it played a lot like Pikmin. You're like this badass superhero going through the city, and occasionally there'd be like citizens like, help, help, and you would draw a line. Because there's like 2 joysticks on the Wiimote, so you would use the right one to draw a circle around the citizens to recruit them into your party. And then you would all just go and beat up a whole bunch of bad guys and stuff. It was pretty cool. You'd have to beat them up with like regular attacks to charge your big attack. Yeah, so you could like hit them a bunch of times with X to charge your A attack, and then use A to just mash the hell out of them or kill them. To kill them. I'm so imaginative with the words I come up with. But it was kind of weird because like on the Wiimote you would have to draw a shape that indicated what attack you wanted to do with the A button. Like there was a fist attack, which is probably the most powerful one. There was a gun attack, which is really weird. And then there was like a sword attack. All your people would turn into a sword and spin around in a circle or something. It was pretty cool. I liked it. There's another part where you like go inside of a building, and when you get in there, you have to look down at the Wiimote to see what you're doing in there. Meanwhile, the camera's like following around the building where you are in it, and then there's a big number outside of the building that you have to change the combination to. So while you're inside, you find the combination and start rotating the joystick, and then you got to look up at the screen while you're moving the joystick to see what combination you're putting on the outside of the building. And then when you get it, you can exit the other side of the building. So I thought it was kind of cool. It was a good integration of the screen and the TV to kind of... I played Castlevania 3DS. There was like a girl walking around. She had like a 3DS charger, I guess, strapped around her or something, so that like you could play 3DS forever or something. So she asked me if I wanted to play it. I'm like, yeah, okay, why not? So I stood there and I played it. It was pretty cool. It was actually, I was surprised at how... It's like the whip controls are like, actually, there's... You know how there's a delay on the whip when you do it in Castlevania 1? Well, there's even more of a delay on the 3DS version, but the thing is, if you actually whip and then you jump just after it, there's this move that Simon does where he's like whip and then he jumps and throws it way up in the air. Or he whips way up in the air, he doesn't throw it in the air. That was a pretty sweet move. And then it had this other thing where if you hit an enemy so many times, they'd get stunned. And once they were stunned, you could press R to grab him. He would grab the enemy and hold him up like this. And just, you could do it to bosses, too. It was so badass. I didn't really get to play any of Pikmin 3, but mainly because I would have just made an ass of myself, because I don't know how to play the other Pikmin games, and it wouldn't have made sense for me to go up there like, hey, I know what I'm doing, I want to try this game out, you know? So, it'd be like watching the part 3 of a movie without seeing the prequels. I didn't really play any of Ninja Gaiden 3 either. I saw some of it, and people said it looked kind of sucky, so I don't really know if I was missing anything there, but it was kind of, I don't know, the atmosphere was all like a desert, and I don't know, it looked kind of weird. It reminded me a lot of some other game that I've seen. Can't think of what it was. Then again, any game where you're looking from behind the view of the character, I guess there's only so many atmospheres you could possibly make. It's like there's a desert, a forest, a building, a field, you know, it's like you run out of stuff eventually. What are all these new tweets here? You know what, I should play some music. Wait, what is this picture that Luca Jin posted? Oh my god. Jeez, look at this, man. Oh, good lord. Yep, that's Luca Jin and Josh Jepson. I think. I don't see her hair. Maybe she had it pulled back there or something. I know that's Josh Jepson right there. Jeez. I'm gonna show you this other one they posted. It's like, I'm supposed to be doing an E3 recap here, and all of a sudden, I'm stopping to, here, this one's seriously the most hilarious thing ever. Look at that crap. It's like their heads are turned in such the perfect way, so it's like a real picture or something. You know what else I was impressed with, actually? It was Wii Sports U, or Wii U Sports, or Wii Fit U. I can't remember what, I think it was called Wii Fit U. Because that makes sense. Like, we fit you, we make your stomach smaller. We punch you in the stomach to make it smaller. Yeah, but like, they had this little pad that was like the size of... How big? It was basically a pad that you would stand on. I drew a picture of it here for the last time. It basically kind of looks like this. Like, your feet would be about that size on it. And then it's about, like, maybe 2 inches thick. But anyway, you could stand on it. And it had this game where you try to jump up in the air as high as you could. You wouldn't actually jump on the pad, though. You would, like, bend your knees and then thrust yourself up till you were on your tippy toes. So you wouldn't actually jump. And, like, I don't know. It was cool, though, because I got up to, like, 2,000 feet on it, so that was cool. Shoot, if I edit myself out drinking, that means you're not going to hear the music, right? Anyway. There was this other game, though, where he would put, like, his butt cheeks on there. Same place that you would put your feet, you put your butt on it. And you play, like, the snowboarding thing, so you have to adjust your weight to move around on the snowboard. It was really weird. It looked hilarious, though. I don't know if the shot of that I got actually turned out, though. So I hope it did. We'll see, I guess. Oh, and ZombiU, well, I did play that, but, like, the lines for that were, like, ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, I got in this line and it looked like there was like 8 people in it, so I think, well, I got pretty lucky here. We ended up waiting probably an hour and a half to actually play. I guess because like the line goes around in a thing to where you can't see where the rest of the people are, so you can't actually see how many people are in line. So there's probably more like 15 people in line or something like that. Yeah, the funniest thing though was when you were standing in line to go into ZombiU, they had this thing outside. It was like a TV screen, and you could hold the Wiimote. I don't know if it was the Wii. I don't remember what it was. There was some kind of camera set up somewhere, and you would look into the camera and it would show you on the TV live, and it would turn your face into a zombie. It looked so funny. But I didn't actually get any camera footage of that. I got some of it on my 3DS. I don't know if there's any way to get camera footage from that onto a computer. If there is, I actually got tons of videos on there. Well, not tons, but maybe 30 minutes worth of random stuff from here and there. Mostly pictures, really. Also, I don't know how many of you were watching The Tester, that show that Ego Raptor was on, but in the last season, there was a guy named Sky Diddy who was on the show. He was at E3, and I actually saw him. I was, like, standing a few feet away from him, and I know it was him, because people were saying his name, too, when he was around, so I guess, in a way, I sort of met Sky Diddy, even though I didn't say anything to him. Because he was with some other guy, and they were walking around, so that was pretty cool. I wonder if Ego Raptor himself was there. I didn't see him, but there was this other random thing that I did at one point. I walked around. I was in, like, the PlayStation area, and they had this one RPG on display. Stop scratching, dude. And it was called Ni no Kuni, I think. I'm not sure. Let me actually Google that again. Ni no Kuni. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but apparently that translates into second country or something. And apparently this was like a DS game, and there's versions of it that go all the way back to 1991. But I don't know if it's ever been released here. But I played some of it because it was really charming. It had like this beautiful world. Like, it had one of the most beautiful worlds I've ever seen. The overworld, like, you could go on forever. You're so small in the overworld, and there's this huge expanse of mountains and forests and lakes and rivers, and it was just so beautiful. So they only let you play for 10 minutes, and I felt like I could only explore maybe a smidge of the world in that 10 minutes. There was a lot of fights in it, actually. Because in the fights, you actually throw out creatures like Pokemon to fight for you. So I never really got the hang of the controls of the creatures, if there was like a certain way that you could control what they do, but I didn't die or anything, so that was good. Oh, I never finished describing ZombiU, the game itself. There wasn't really anything too different. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played a lot of the whole first-person shooter thing. I mean, to me, if you have a gun at any point in the game, it's basically a first-person shooter. Like, Uncharted is a first-person shooter. Pretty much any fighting you do in the game is with a gun. Otherwise, it's like, there's other stuff that you do in the game, but I should hope. I mean, I'm sure people wouldn't deny that Zelda is a sword-fighting game, even though sword-fighting is not all you do in the game. It's just that every fight that you get in involves a sword, so you say it's a sword-fighing game. So that's why I say that, like, Uncharted is a first-person shooter, because every fight you get in is a shooting fight. Or, I mean, I guess you get fist fights if you get too close or something. Yeah, and then again, Zelda even has other ways to attack, and yet they still call it a sword-fighting. Well, they don't call it a sword-fighting game, but I do. Maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. Anyway, that's just whatever. But yeah, so ZombiU was kind of like that, but they had like things where if you had to loot somebody after killing them, you would pull the Wii remote down and kind of pick up what you wanted to pick up and move it to your inventory. And people complained about that and said it took away from the gaming experience, but to me, it's made it more realistic because, like in real life, if you had to loot something, you know, and you had zombies coming behind you, that's really what happened. And I'm moving my arm around in some crazy way that I don't even know. Let's put this on for a while. Yeah, this would be perfect music for a zombie game, too. It's kind of crazy. Trying to think. Yeah, the thing is, if you actually survived the entire level when you played it, you would get a t-shirt that said, like, I survived ZombiU at E3 or something. So I was kind of hoping to get that shirt, because I was watching the other people play it, like, at least 3 or 4 times. But the reason the lines were so long was because you could actually stand there and play for, like, 20 minutes. It took about 20 minutes to finish it. And if you died, like, in the first 5 or so minutes, they would give you another chance. So, and I actually did die, like, in the first 3 minutes, so I got another chance, But yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's why it took so long, I guess, to get through the lines. Because even though they had 3 TVs, that's like, you know, 20 minutes a person. It's about 6 minutes for a person to get off. 6 minutes per person in front of you times, you know, 15 people is an hour and a half, so it makes sense, really. I don't know what else to really... The thing is, with ZombiU was, like, the objectives seemed boring. It's like the first objective was get to the nursery. And then the second objective was find medicine for somebody. I'm like... Looking for medicine in this whole 3D world, I wouldn't have the first clue where to look. It turns out it's really easy to find, but I did find it, but I never got back out, that's the thing. Because you end up in the basement, and like there's all these different doors, and then it goes totally dark, and you can't see what's going on. Next thing you know, you just got bit. Be careful, because you get bit. The funny thing is, though, if you actually die and you come back as a different character, you could see your previous character that died. They show up as an enemy in the new game when you play as the second character. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, I wish I'd seen more of those. I wanted to try that Sing game. They had a game called Sing. Because I thought maybe it actually had something to do with singing. But when I looked in there, all I saw was a bunch of people dancing. So maybe they should have just called it Dance. I don't know. The problem is you can't do that because you already have that other game called Just Dance. It's like Just Dance. Boom, 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 boom. you know, that one stupid high note, you know? It's like you get that song stuck in your head every time you see the title. It's like, just whatever. I don't know, it's just so dumb. It's stupid because Disturbia by Rihanna has the exact same melody, you know? It's like, jeez, whatever. Yeah, and at one point I was going around, and there was like this display of Retron machines, which if you don't know, Retron is like that thing that plays that console that you can plug in a Nintendo cartridge, a Super Nintendo cartridge, and a Sega Genesis cartridge and switch between them and play any one of them on the same TV. Well, they had a bunch of those set up, and on one corner they had Super Mario 3 on display, so I thought, you know, I'll go up and play it. So I get up there, I play, it's on World 4, and I get up there and I play like 2 worlds of it, and then I put it back down and somebody else plays for a while. So I go away and I come back about like a half hour later, I guess, I don't know, and it's on the same world, and I'm like, wow, that's all the progress anybody's made? Okay. So I picked up the controller, play a couple more worlds, turned around to see if anybody else wanted to play. Nobody was there, so I just kept playing some more. Next thing I know, one of the people who was working at the display comes over and starts watching me. I got up to like the hidden Hammer Brothers suit in World 610 and got that and went to Lemmy's ship. But then they had to shut down because the floor was shutting down. So then he tells me, you know, come back tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. Surely I can't be the only one on this floor who knows how to play Super Mario Bros. 3, right? So I come back the next day, it's on World 2, so I take the warp to World 6. And, you know, get back up to where I was, and eventually I beat the game, and people are cheering and stuff, and it's like, I don't even know. It just felt weird, because I just find it hard to believe I would be the only one who knows how to play Mario. I'm probably not the only one who knows how to play Mario 3. I'm just the only one who felt the need to get up there and get validated by playing it, you know? And eventually I did bring up the fact that I had a YouTube channel, and this one girl actually asked me if I would write down the name for her. So I pulled out a $1 bill, because I didn't have anything else to write on, and I wrote my name down and gave it to her. So that was kind of funny. Nintendo Capri Sun. I don't know if she ever came to Sonic. She probably did, actually. I don't know, I need to check closer. There were some other interesting things like this video game history, like a video game museum. They had every video game system ever made laid out there and actually working on display or something. Well, I don't think all of them were actually working, but or if they were working, I don't know. But they had, you know, the Atari, the Sega Genesis, the TurboGrafx 16, the Neo Geo. They had the Vectrex. They had a Vectrex there. I was totally stunned by that. But they had Super Mario Bros. 3 on display over there, too, so I played it some over there, too, just a little bit, a couple worlds. Put my 3DS down, started playing it, walked away. So I get about, you know, like 20 yards down the hallway, and all of a sudden I reach in my pocket to do my street pass, and whoa, my 3DS is not in my pocket. So I turn around and I start sprinting back. I mean, I don't sprint, but I walk pretty fast. I go back and I see that same display there, my 3DS is not there. And I'm like, oh shit. So I asked the guy who was playing, did you see a 3DS sitting here? And he didn't know anything about it. So I started walking around the area thinking, how in the world am I supposed to tell who actually works here? Because I have no idea. Eventually I saw these 2 huge guys standing there, and they were like talking to each other. One of them was holding my 3DS, and I just walked up to him and I said, hey, is that my 3DS? And he's like, oh, it's yours. And I'm like, yeah, thank God, thank God. And they just totally believed me that it was mine, so thank God. Man, I got scared there, because I tell you, man, if I lost my 3DS, I mean, I can lose all the phones I want, but if I lose my 3DS, that's hard work right there. To get all those street passes, man, you don't get all that back. Jeez. New phone, all you gotta do is import everything from online, but 3DS, nope. Only 6 minutes into this music, wow. One of the other things they had at the Video Game Museum was a Galaga machine. And I had seen one of those somewhere else where I tried to get a high score on it, because I'm really good at Galaga. I mean, not to brag or anything, but I could get 1,000,000 on it. So when I started playing it, and I can never remember the patterns of the bonus rounds, which is the worst part. But then again, you don't want to get all of them in the bonus round because the music is stupid. You know, it's like, you know, if you get like maybe 38 or 39 and it plays that crediting music, you know, that music is all epic and mysterious and stuff. But when you get all, you know, when you get all 40 of them, when you get 10,000 points for it, then the music is all like, you know, it's all just happy and crap. It's like, and I know it's supposed to be, but. So it was almost good that I didn't get them all. But anyway, I get it for like 200,000. Finally, I die, and I go to put my name in. Because I figure if I put in NCS, anyone who sees that, who knows me, would actually know that it was me. So I go to put the name in. I put in N, and then I get to the next letter, and I accidentally put in D instead of C. And I'm like, well, poo. Now nobody's. It's like, well, and not that it matters or anything. Like, oh, nobody's gonna know that you're so good at Galaga. So you're talking about it on the video now. Bleh. More people are gonna find out about it that way than by walking by the machine. Anyway, so I just put in some random letters after that, because you change one letter in it, it totally ruins it. You know, you change one letter in NCS, you can change it to ACS. Suddenly it becomes a type of high school equivalency test. And you turn NCI, suddenly it becomes a show about policemen. Well, that's NCIS technically, but whatever. Yeah, so I was so mad I got my name wrong. Like, geez, man, you can't even spell your own name, jeez. That's pretty much all for my list. Oh, we went and saw the Zelda Symphony, that was cool. And the daughter of Robin Williams, Zelda Williams, she was there. And she was so shy, it's like only her second time on stage. Oh my gosh, she was adorable. And you could tell she was a Zelda fan the way she talked, too. Because when she would introduce, like, the next segment of the concert, like, she would say something about, these are the dungeon themes, and we've all spent plenty of time in there searching for keys. It's like, yeah, she knows her Zelda, yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, she was awesome. When the first lady walked out, the conductor, for some reason, I thought she was Zelda Williams, and I got all confused. I was like, wait a minute, Zelda Williams is a composer? Oh my god. I was like, no. And then it turned out, and I think a few people were confused because I heard a little bit of, like, a in the audience when she actually came out and introduced herself. Like, oh, okay, yeah. They played some great music, though. They had great food there, too. Like, you could get a whole chicken fingers and fries and Coke, which I did. I'm sorry, but I did. It was just one of those things. You had to enjoy the moment, man. Yeah. And before the concert, like, they had actual Zelda music playing on the speakers, and at one point they played the Forest Temple theme. And all of a sudden when I heard it, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Forest Temple! I don't think anybody heard me, but just like, who cares? And I didn't actually have a ticket to the show, because I didn't buy one online. So I had to get in line for tickets. So while I'm standing in line for tickets, this old guy comes by my right side, he's like, you need tickets? And so he tells me to follow him over outside. Apparently he's a scalper. Because he started showing me some of the tickets he had, and I'm like, I'll pay you $100 for your best one, so... So I don't know if I actually got the best one, but it was good enough. I mean, I didn't care. So... Anyway, that was cool. Good times. I think I met more fans there than I actually did at E3. I think like 3 different groups of fans. So that was cool. What is this? LP? Secret of Mana 002. Podos, Water Palace, and Goblins. Legend of Mana. I need to play that. Yeah, and then like on the shuttle on the way back, on the 3rd day, I got on the shuttle to go back to the hotel, but the shuttle had all these weird stickers on it, which it didn't have the first 2 days, so I thought, wait a minute, am I getting on the right shuttle here? Anyway, I get on, because I figure, well, it's in the spot where the shuttle to my hotel goes. So he takes off, and like 15 minutes later, he gets to the first stop, and it's a different stop than the one that had stopped on the previous 2 days. So I thought, oh shit, I just got on the wrong shuttle, didn't I? But eventually he pulls around and goes back to the Kyoto Grand and, lets us off, and I'm like, oh, hallelujah. I mean, even if he did drop me off in the wrong place, all I would have to do is find a taxi and tell him where to take me, so it's not like it would have been that big a deal, but still. This scared me a little bit. And we recorded our usual Runaway Guys stuff, and I going to show off my card trick. Well, it's not my card trick, it's actually a card trick I've been working on, but it's a really good one. Got my fingernail clippers here. I couldn't find fingernail clippers at Walmart the other night, so I just got this little manicure kit that had like fingernail clippers and a file. So it's got like this pink thing on it, and it's like, but they're pretty sharp, and it actually is easier to grip with the thing on it, so I like them. I'll definitely keep using them. Well, actually, I made the mistake of actually booking my tickets. My plane tickets to leave LA, I booked them 1 day late by mistake. So I got to stay in the hotel for an extra night. And that night was actually a Friday night. So while I was there, I thought, we were going to do some like karaoke at LA, but we never got around to it. So I thought, well, I'm still here, and it's LA and it's a Friday night. I should do something, Because, I don't have to work tonight, it's not pick and save. I don't have every single Friday night hoard off to them anymore, so I went downstairs and I searched, I got online, I searched for Los Angeles karaoke. That thing came up with no less than 50 different places. So I found this one, but I didn't really pay attention to the details of it. I just thought, well, if they're doing karaoke, I'm gonna go check it out. So I walk over there, and I look inside the bar, and it's kind of like a bar, it's like a circular bar right towards the entrance. And I could see the karaoke machine way, way in the back of the bar, but nobody was using it. And there was only like 5 people in there, so I thought, that's kind of strange, maybe I'll just hang out around here. So I hung out for about another 20 minutes, and they never started, so I thought, that's weird. I guess I could have just gone inside and asked, I guess, and it's stupid me. Anyway, I go back to the hotel and I look up some more details about that particular bar, and it turns out they don't start till like 11:30. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, 11:30, that's kind of bad, because I gotta be up, the next day to catch my plane, and I don't exactly want to oversleep, so So I went back and forth with it in my head until eventually I just decided not to do it, which is stupid. I should have done it, but the thing is, in the reviews, I also read something about how the guys who do the karaoke only let their friends do it or stuff, or they make other people wait longer. So that made me a little uneasy, so I thought, yeah, part of that was why I opted to go too. But if I had gone, I would have sung Take It Easy by the Eagles, because that's probably my best song. It's the one where I sound the best when I sing. Yeah, there was actually this yogurt joint called Pinkberry a couple blocks down, and we went to that a couple times. But the funny thing is that the first time we saw the place, there was a sign in the way, and it blocked off the bottom of the P, so it looked like it said Oinkberry. So for the rest of the time that we were there, we were calling this place Oinkberry. So it was kind of hilarious, but yeah, it was really good, the stuff they served there. I got this peanut butter flavored yogurt. It's like sweet and salty at the same time. That was freaky. So I had a sample of it the first day, but then I just went and got the chocolate. The second time we went, I actually got the peanut butter. But boy, stuff I tell you, man, the more I ate it, the more I wanted to cough because of the salty. I don't know, it just made my throat really dry. So I was kind of surprised because I thought this stuff is by nature is wet, but I don't know, it was drying out my throat. I thought they were coughing my ass off at the table. No, but it was sure good though. It's totally worth it. Totally worth it. Well, I guess that's I don't want this camera to burn out, so I'm gonna go and turn this off here. And I appreciate everybody watching and listening to my stupid recap and my stupid opinions and my worthless gestures and my poopy poops poop doop. So until then, I would like to say goodbye. Well, I wouldn't like to say goodbye, but I have to. So take care, y'all, and when all else fails, use a doomshroom. See you later.